Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. I'm going to share with you some of the latest perspective from a couple attorneys within our XRP community. Stuff from attorney John Deaton as well as attorney Bill Morgan. And part of the topic is, why is XRP treated differently than some other coins, like, for instance, Bitcoin and ETH in particular, when it comes to, from a legal perspective, how cryptocurrency exchanges like Coinbase are addressing the current landscape. And so here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. Deaton says Coinbase suspended XRP trading because of its IPO. And I find this interesting because I was talking about this, I think, literally 2 days ago. And it is one of the points that I brought up, and I think attorney Deaton is absolutely hitting the nail on the head here. And then there's also this headline from the Crypto Basic. Top lawyer explains why Coinbase will not delist ETH as XRP. So again, what's with the difference in treatment here? But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so this first article, it's actually covering some comments from attorney John Deaton that he made on Twitter. And he referenced this article, and I'm not going to open it for the purposes of this video. I literally talked about this exact topic. I made a video 2 days ago on this, but the headline from crypto media outlet U Today is, XRP delisting might hurt Coinbase's fair notice defense, crypto lawyer says. And they're talking about perspective from attorney Bill Morgan. So anyway, that was retweeted by attorney John Deaton, and this is where attorney John Deaton shared his perspective. And then a former SEC attorney actually responded to attorney John Deaton, seems to be agreeing with him, actually, which is pretty rare, to be honest with you. Even the former SEC attorney acknowledges that. But here's what attorney Deaton said. I understand attorney Bill Morgan's well-articulated points on this, but we can't underestimate the impact of Coinbase's IPO on the decision to suspend trading of XRP. Coinbase went public in April 2021, less than 4 months after the Ripple lawsuit. Coinbase needed SEC approval. Before some people claim how disappointed they are that I'm defending Coinbase's decision to suspend XRP, remember, I filed a writ of mandamus versus the SEC on January 1st, 2021, and in March 2021 stated that Coinbase, Kraken, and others should join me and file a motion to intervene. I'm just calling it how I see it, and I have no doubt that the overwhelming advice, like 99%, if not 100, Coinbase received by regulatory compliance lawyers and litigators was to suspend and not interfere with the IPO. Who knows? The SEC may have strongly suggested suspending. Yeah, and it's an interesting thought there. I mean, I'm just sitting there thinking, if I'm Coinbase, I got to do what's in the best interest of my business. And so, a couple things. I mean, I've already made my perspective clear that even outside of the IPO stuff, I feel like, it's the SEC. I blame the SEC first, okay? The SEC is the one that came out swinging, attacking Ripple, and as a result of that, attacking all XRP holders, so far as I'm concerned, and platforms like Coinbase, cryptocurrency exchanges that were offering XRP. And so I actually am sympathetic to them because they're put in this tough spot where, they got to look out for their business and their employees, their families, and so it's a big deal. And so, while I think it's definitely worthy of praise, when it comes to acknowledging the cryptocurrency exchanges like Uphold that did not kick XRP to the curb, definitely that's very praiseworthy, and I appreciate it. For the cryptocurrency exchanges that are in a tough spot here, I've always just said, okay, I'll give you a pass on this. It's not what I want to see. I get it. You're doing what you think is best. You were put in the tough spot. I blame the SEC first, right? But that may not be the only consideration. It's the fact that there's this initial public offering. That's why I think attorney John Deaton is hitting the nail on the head here. I'm just saying, if I'm running Coinbase, and you know me, like, XRP is my largest crypto holding, my favorite cryptocurrency. I think it's to be worth an absolute fortune in the future compared to where it is now. You know me, but I'm just saying, if I were in charge of Coinbase and factoring in that, if we don't do this, if we don't halt the trading, delist XRP, that could impact our initial public offering. I'm just saying, if I'm the guy in charge of Coinbase, I'd be like, well, what's in our interest? I mean, it's not the best for XRP holders, but what's in our interest? And so it's kind of hard to blame a business for looking out for itself. It's not what I want. It's not what you want. It's not what any of us want. All I'm saying is that I can understand the thought process. It doesn't mean I like it. I don't like it, but I understand the thinking behind it. That's all I'm saying. And then you have former SEC attorney Mark Fagel respond to attorney Deaton. He says, a rare area where you and I are in agreement. Any reasonable lawyer would have advised them to delist a token under these circumstances amidst their registration review. I do question whether their failure to do so with tokens alleged to be securities in subsequent enforcement actions works against them and partially explains the SEC's decision to Wells. So I was positive, of course, when they say that, he's just talking about the fact that a Wells notice was issued. I'm sure all of you are aware at this point. But that just means it's just a note from the SEC saying, hey, we're about to sue you. Here's the warning. That's effectively it. And it's going to happen. I think it's a virtual certainty. And then attorney Fagel says, makes it look like they were telling the SEC they'd defer to SEC judgment on securities in order to get S1 sign-off, then stopped doing this as soon as they went effective. Yeah, I think that's, actually, I do think that's fair. That does seem to be what happened. So it does put them in this sticky situation where they've been inconsistent because, and that's what I talked about a couple days ago, so I don't want to, open that whole can of worms again, but it does make Coinbase look very inconsistent, and that's going to it's going to add to their legal troubles. It looks like that's what Attorney Bill Morgan was getting at. Because what about all these other coins that the SEC is now articulating, they're now stating are securities? Well, you didn't delist those, but you did XRP. Tough spot. And then there's this from the Crypto Basic. Top lawyer explains why Coinbase will not delist ETH as XRP. In a tweet yesterday, Australian-based lawyer Bill Morgan asserts that San Francisco-based cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase will never treat Bitcoin and Ethereum the same way as XRP. Per attorney Morgan, Coinbase will not treat ETH and Bitcoin as XRP because its business model highly depends on trading the two largest cryptocurrencies by market cap. For context, Coinbase, which listed XRP in 2019, delisted the coin on January 19th, 2021, barely 4 months after the Securities and Exchange Commission sued Ripple for violating securities laws. The exchange clarified that its decision to halt XRP trading stemmed from the SEC's enforcement action against Ripple Labs. Although Coinbase cited the SEC v. Ripple lawsuit as the major reason behind its decision to discontinue XRP trading, Morgan noted that the exchange would not have delisted Bitcoin and ETH even if there was litigation naming both assets as securities. He believes such a move would financially wreck Coinbase, given that both crypto assets account for 65% of the exchange's total trading volume. Yeah, that's massive. So that seems like a no-brainer. And you know what's been interesting is that since almost every exchange in the United States did kick XRP to the curb, the few that didn't are reaping the rewards of that because they have a backbone. And again, I'm not trying to be too tough on Coinbase or any of the exchanges that delisted. I do get it. I don't like it. I really don't like it, but I get it. But for instance, the likes of Uphold here, and this is a story from the beginning of April. This one was titled, Uphold says it never delisted XRP, has $1.04 billion of the tokens in reserves. And I don't want to read the article. I just want to make a broader point that this has been fantastic for Uphold. It has absolutely resulted in a ton of customer transactions and profits for Uphold that they wouldn't have otherwise enjoyed. And so you can see here at the bottom of this article, they note the following. Uphold's XRP holdings are greater than its Bitcoin holdings, currently at $131.1 million worth of Bitcoin. Also, Uphold recorded XRP transaction volume at 28.33% of total transactions on the platform. Now, look, I don't know how many coins are available on Uphold, but it's a lot. And almost a third of all volume on the exchange on Uphold is XRP transactions. And really, it's not that surprising. I mean, because where else are you going to get XRP? So they got a ton of new customers. And I've always been a big fan of Uphold. I bought a bunch of XRP on their platform before. And I guess I started using them, I think it was probably summer of 2018, I want to say. Whenever they started offering XRP, I think the first day that they offered XRP and they allowed you to withdraw it, I believe literally that's the first day that I purchased anything from them. I'm almost 100% sure that's accurate. So I think that was 2018, if memory serves anyway. And then they're not paying me to say anything. I've never had any sponsors on the channel. I mean, maybe I will at some point in the future. I just don't care right now. Whatever. But no, good for them. I'm just saying, good for them. And if this doesn't go well, like, this will materially harm Uphold's business, because when everything's said and done, and say it's even through the end of the Supreme Court, we get terrible news. Not that I think that's going to happen, but all of this profit and opportunity for Uphold, it would just cease to exist, and that just seems like it would be a travesty. And they've been so good to the XRP community at this point, from my perspective. So, and again, I don't think that's going to happen here, but I'm just noting what's at stake. That's a substantial, almost a third of their business is XRP. Think about that. That's crazy. I don't know what the numbers were before that, but I'd be willing to bet probably nowhere near that. Probably nowhere near that. We'll see what happens. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.